November 12th. Solve and graph inequalities. All right, who can read the problem to us? How do you read that problem? Does anyone know how to read this problem? Very good. X plus 5 is greater than or equal to 7. Well, the title says we're doing inequality, so I must include an inequality in my problem. Okay, what am I doing? What am I going to do? Well, you got to know what that means. Yes.
You minus 5?
Yep.
You put minus 5 so that
Did they show you how to
yes.
do this?
Yes.
Good. So whatever you do to one side, you must do to the other side. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other side.
We just put a line down the middle of the symbol.
Just one line down the middle.
Down the middle of the symbol, and then we did it on both sides of the line.
Interesting, interesting. So no two lines, just one?
Just one. Oh, I remember.
Okay.
I remember 2 and 1. Yeah.
Drop down the inequality. How do we say this inequality? Greater than or equal to. You will be using these symbols in high school, so you got to make sure you memorize them. And then 7 minus 5? 2. Okay, that's solving it. Now let's graph it. How do I graph in this class? What do we start with? A number line. Very good. Then what?
The numbers on the number line.
Which ones?
You put 2 in the middle.
Yes. Whatever number you solve for, 1 second, now the one, whatever number you solve for, that's the number in the middle. Then, very good, 2 numbers on each side. That's the minimum for this class, the minimum.
Oh, I didn't put that one.
2, 3, 4. Okay. Open or close circle? Close. What tells you that it has to be closed? The equal to part in that statement. Very good. And then do I shade to the left or do I shade to the right? I'm looking for numbers that are greater than or equal to 2. The numbers on the right will always be greater than or equal to. Easy enough? All right.
Oh.
Ooh, let's do this. Darwin, Sal, let's write this down. So, how do you say it?
It's
Ben?
x plus 2 is less than negative 4.
Very good. X plus 2 is less than negative 4. How do I solve it?
Put negative.
Do the write the opposite of this operation. So what is this operation? Minus. A negative, when you say negative, you're describing it. It's not a verb. Subtracting is the verb. It's your action. So an adjective and a verb are not the same thing. You can tell Miss Sonar I just gave you an English lesson right there. That's right. Talked about the difference between a verb and an adjective. But don't call this a negative right now. So X, bring down your inequality. Now this makes me kind of sad. What is it? What's negative 4 minus 2? Negative 6. So did you write negative 6? Right. So negative 4 minus 2 makes me sad, but negative 4 plus negative 2 makes me happy. All right, graphing. What number goes in the middle?
-4. Wait, -6.
This is all gone. You're just left with this. This is what we graph. So we have -6 in the middle, and then 2 numbers below and 2 numbers above, and this is where we all make mistakes.
Huh?
Well, hopefully you don't. What are the 2 numbers before -6? What are the 2 numbers above -6? This is 100% where a lot of kids will put the numbers in the wrong order. And even adults will put them in the wrong order. Eldon?
So on the right side,
On the right side? Hold on the right side. This is my right side. Yes.
the first one would be -5, and then -4. And then on the left side, it'll be -7, and then
Good. So check yourself. Did you put -8 all the way on the left side? Because we've seen it. It's just a disaster. Okay. Open or close circle?
Open.
Open. And then I'm looking for numbers that are less than -6. Which numbers on the left or on the right are they less than?
Left.
We're good? So we can handle negative numbers? Are we okay with negative numbers? All right. What if I start off with a subtraction problem? Boop. So let's do them all. X minus 10 is greater than -4. Why do I keep using -4? Do the opposite operation. All right. So what is the opposite operation? X minus 10 is greater than -4. Yes? What is it? Addition. So we're going to add 10. We're going to add 10. X, bring this down, which is a greater than symbol. What's -4 plus 10? 6. Cool. So we're going to graph this. This is a 6, 5, 4, 7, 8 number line. Open or close circle? Open. And we're looking for numbers that are greater than 6. Numbers that are greater than 6. Left or right? Right. So we shade in this direction. Easy? So that's subtraction. So if it says subtraction, you're going to add. Now, what if it's multiplication? Yep. Who can give me a problem? Ben? For multiplication. Yes.
X times 4 is greater than or equal to 10.
Okay, so he said x times 4. How should we write that? X times 4. Eldon? He said x times 4. But how would I write that? How would you write x times 4 in an algebra class?
Make the X
Oh.
weird. You can make it into like a dot.
You can just say little dot or parentheses.
You just put
Neither.
them together. You just put them close together.
Yes. So what should I write first?
4, 4X.
The 4x.
Oh.
What does that mean?
4 times X.
4 times x. And what comes first? Not the variable, but the number. So 4x. Could I have written x times 4? Yes. Does it mean the same thing? Yes. He chose 10, though.
Is that easy?
Do I really want to use 10?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I like 8 better. I mean, I guess you could have done 10, right? Then we would have done a fraction. We would have graphed a fraction. We should have done 10. Oh, well. Next time. All right. Draw your bars. So, right now, when it's squished together, right, you said to write it together as well. There's no dot, there's no parentheses, but it still means multiplication. So what's the opposite of multiplication? Division. So I'm going to divide. That means divide. That means divide. What am I divided by? 4. 8. Does anybody know? Okay. Does anybody know what do I get on this side when I divide by 4? 1x. Do I really want to write the 1 though? No. Is it there though? Isn't visible. We just don't really write it. Greater than. What's 8 divided by 4? 2. Okay. We graph real quick style. 1, 0, 3, 4. Open or close? Open. Left or right? Good. All right. So that's multiplication. What are we gonna do for division?
The second thing.
Yes.
10 divided by x is
All right. Who wants to give me a problem? Bruce?
10 divided by x is greater than. Never mind. I don't want to give a problem.
Craig?
I can't think of one.
X divided by 2 is greater than 5.
Good. And X comes first in 7th grade. All right, so this means division. I don't think they're ever going to do this to you. I don't think they'll ever write this in 7th grade or in high school. It's usually written like this as a fraction. All right, so here's how you show work. What do we have to do? How do we break up the divide by 2? We're going to multiply by 2, and we're going to multiply by 2. Parentheses means multiplication. You've done this in 6th grade, right?
Yes.
The only difference is it was an equal sign and not an inequality, Lucero. So we are going to... It's still the same thing. There's one thing that changes when it's an inequality, but we'll learn that maybe early next week. All right, drop it down. What's 5 times 2? 10. So we're going to graph it. 10, 9, 8, 11, 12. Open or closed? Open, and then shade to the right. We've had a lot of shade to the right. All right. Does this work the same thing with negative numbers? Yes. Yeah, it does. We'll practice that tomorrow. All right, any questions on how to solve any of these? So I showed you how to solve the 4 operations. If it's addition, you're going to subtract. If it's subtract, you're going to add. If it's multiply, divide. And if it's division, pick one problem you want me to go over. Oh, you know what? Let's do number 7. It's written a little different for number 7. Everybody stop and go to number 7.
Everybody stop and go to number 7.
Thank you. Yep, it's backwards. So how do I break up this math problem? What am I going to do?
Subtract.
Yeah, I'm going to subtract 7. Usually, the operation is behind it, which we don't look at. The plus x is with the x. I want 7 to equal 0. So how do I get 7 to equal 0? I subtract it, Sam. So what's 7 minus 7? 0. I'm left with x is less than, what's 16 minus 7? 9. So open or close circle on the number 9? Open. And then which way do I shade? The left or the right?
Left.
Finally went to the left. Now notice that they put 0 kind of in the middle. They just did that. But you're putting your circle where your answer is. The number that you solved for, that's where you put your circle, okay? If you're still having trouble with open or closed circles, you can refer back to your notes from last week. Did we do combined like terms? This was us? We did this?
Yeah. Yep.
Yes. Let me double check. I'm gonna give him brand new bathroom pass, Gregory. We have these brand new bathroom passes that you must wear.
You must take it off until you get back to class.
Yeah, keep it on. I was just checking. Come and get it. You're the first one to use it. Once I see you scanned out. Well, it's kind of like your Spider Lab pass.
I forgot this bit. You can't take the heat. Get out of the kitchen.